Alright, so this is going to be the first of several online video tutorials we're doing for Creo. This is going to be the part we're making today. It's a simple extrude and it has a couple cuts and holes for features in it. So I'm going to go get over into Creo. The first thing you have to do, and you're going to have to do this every time you open up Creo, you want to go up here to the ribbon and you want to select your working directory. So once you do that, this window is going to pop up, and then just drill down to wherever you want to save stuff to, and then hit OK. This is important to do because it actually has everything save automatically to one folder, and then that's important because if you're working in assemblies and stuff like that, Creo actually has the ability to change features that are tied to other components and stuff. And it just needs to be able to have everything in the same folder so it knows where to actually look for stuff, and that way Creo doesn't give you any type of errors or anything. So with the working directory selected, we're just going to start a new part. So we're going to go up here to new. We want it to be a part, as I said, and we want it to be a solid subtype. So next we're going to go and change the name. So I'm just going to call this simple extrude. And then notice that I didn't use a space, so you actually have to use an underscore here, because if you don't, you're going to get an error. So we're going to click OK. Apparently I already have that simple extruded saved, so I'm going to add another underscore and just add 2. So we're going to click OK there. And then it's going to bring you up to the main window of Creo. So, like I said, this is the part that we're going to be creating today. It's just a square extrude, square block, and then it has this U-cut and then a couple holes in. So we're going to start with the actual base of the feature. So to do that, we're going to go up to extrude, and we're going to try and keep the orientation the same as what it was just shown. So we're going to select on the right datum plane. Notice you can select any datum plane, or if you create other ones, you could select to extrude on those as well. So we're going to click on the right datum plane, and that brings us to our sketch ribbon up here. So next we're going to click on this option here. It's called sketch view, and what that's going to do is it's going to give us a normal view to the actual plane that we're working on. So next we're going to click on the line command up here. We just want the line chain, and then we're just going to start at the origin, and we're going to go through and make the general geometry of the part. Then just click on the mouse wheel twice to get out of the line command, and we can drag our dimensions off to the side. For this tutorial, we're not too worried about the overall dimensions of the feature. We're looking more at just getting acquainted with the different tools and stuff, the extrude tool, line, all those different things. So I'm not going to worry about changing these dimensions too much. It is important to note, though, that if you do want to change them, you just have to double click on it, and then you can type in what you want it to be. Or you could also go up to the dimension toolbar up here. You could click on this normal command, and then just click on one of the features that you want to dimension. It's going to pop up, and then you can click on the mouse wheel again to get out of it, and you can go in and change that as well if you want. Alright, so it's also important to note that whenever you're making this feature, you also want to start and end at the origin. You want to make sure that you're actually closing the section off, that way Creo can actually extrude it. If you want to be able to actually see if you have a closed feature, there's a couple options up here. This I-beam looking character here will actually show if you have it will shade in the area and let you know that you actually have that region closed. If you have this one open, it will actually show you where you have open ends at, in case you don't have that closed section. So those are some pretty useful tools. So with that, we're going to now add the that circular cut, and to do that, we're just going to add a circle. Like I said before, the dimensions aren't too important, so we'll just drag those over so it's a little bit easier to see. With that, done, we're going to click on the green check mark for OK, and that's going to bring us into the Extrude tool. As you can see, we have a basically what we were that part we were looking at, the overall shape of it. We have the cut, and we also have that hole there. So to change the depth, you can click on this dimension here, or you could go up and you can change it up in up in the ribbon up here as well. There's also several different depth commands to the side. The first one that we're doing is just going to go from whatever our datum plane was. We can flip which side that's going to be on if we want. There's a couple other options. The second one would be to have it in the middle of the datum plane, and that's actually what we're going to do. Today we're going to, so like I said, to get into that, we're going to go to the option up here, just click the arrow and go to the extrude on both sides option. And what that does is it keeps it symmetric about this, about our datum plane, and it's going to actually extrude, because we have it set to 210, it's going to extrude 105 on both sides. That just keeps it symmetric and stuff like that for us. So, and it's also going to be useful whenever we're placing this hole later on. So, so with that, we're just going to click on the green check mark, and as you can see, we have our the base of our part. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this U-cut in the center here. So we'll get back over in the Creo. We're going to do another extrude, and like I said, you can pick on different datum planes and features and stuff. So for this one, we're just going to click on this front face. You could also do it from the back face if you wanted to. You could do it from the front datum plane. I'm just choosing to do it from the front face because that way it will actually tie this feature to the front face in case we change the placement of it. So like we did before, we're going to do this sketch view to get back into that normal toolbar. And as you can see, if we go up here and we use the line command, we don't actually have a way to snap to these top that top edge there or anything. So what we're going to do is, let me just delete those real quick. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go up here to the top left ribbon. This middle option here is actually going to allow us to add more references. Once we click that, it's going to bring up this window over here, and all we do is we just select on the features that we want to add. So we're going to add that top edge and that right edge. Then just click solve and close, and now you can actually snap to those edges. So again, just let me delete those real quick. And we're going to actually use the rectangle command this time. So click on the rectangle, and there's different options here. We're just going to use the corner rectangle. So just line it up about where it needs to be, get that general shape again. Again, dimensions aren't too overly important. And with that, we're just going to click the green check mark again. So as you can see here now, Creo's actually trying to add another rectangular extrude, but this is a cut. So to actually get it into the cut command, we're going to click this remove material. So with that checked, you can see it's still going in the wrong direction. To flip that direction, you can click this pink arrow here, and you can see it flips over. You can also click on the on this option up here, and that will also give you the option to flip it. As you can see, our depth isn't quite right. It's not cutting through the whole part. So we could go down here and we could change it to something that we know it's past. 500 would be a decent option. The only thing with that is if you're actually if you would change the depth of the overall base to something larger than 500, it wouldn't actually cut the whole way through. So I suggest using the through all option for the depth up here. So to get to that, just go up here, click on the down arrow, and just click through all. And what that does is it actually ties it so that any depth that we put into the overall base, it's going to extrude it the whole way through and cut that. So with that, we're going to click the green check mark, and there we have our cut. So for the final feature we're going to do is we're going to add the this hole down at the bottom. So we're adding this hole here. There's a couple ways we could do that. We could go back through and we could do another extrude, make a sketch, sketch that circle and cut it. We could also go through and use this hole command, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to bring up this new ribbon here. The first thing you have to do is you just have to click the face that you want the hole to appear on. So we want it on this face here, obviously. And then you notice that these green diamonds appear. So what that does is it allows you to place the references for it. So like I said before, we did this so it was symmetric about this right plane. That's what our extrude on both sides option did. And so what we're going to do is we're going to drag one down to the front so we can get that depth, and then we can also add it to that there. So if we want it to be coincidence, just put in a 0 distance there, and down for this depth we can say maybe we want it at 35. So again, you can change your diameter of this hole. You can change it up here in the top ribbon bar, so you want it at 40, or you could do it again by clicking on the dimension down here, say we want it at 45. So any of those work. Again, it's going through a blind distance, so it's going to stop at 75.74. So again, anything that exceeds that at this base, it's not going to actually cut the whole way through. So like before, I suggest to use this through all command, and then that's going to cut it down no matter what the base is. So with that done, we're just going to click the green check mark. As you can see, we now have our hole. We have our general feature. Dimensions are probably off, but like I said, that wasn't too big of a deal here. So the final thing that we need to do here is we can change the color of it. So if we go up to render up here and then appearance gallery, click this arrow, and we can bring up the different colors. So you can go through and you can select individual faces by doing this. If you go back into it, you can hold down the control key and select multiple faces at the same time. It will change it that way. Or if you go into it, the final option would be to click the overall part. It will select everything, hit OK, and you can see it selected everything there. So now that we're done, the final thing that we have to do is we have to save it. So just click the save command. You notice that it's automatically saving to where we set our working directory. So we just hit OK, and that's it. It's saved. Hope this helped you guys, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.